Okay, so I'm going to change a fuel filter here in my 2013 Passat TDI. Got everything ready here. I've got my new filter. This is where the fuel filter canister is, left side of or right side of your engine bay, looking from the inside of the front. It's left side, right next to the washer fluid. I'm going to go ahead and take these Torx head. These take a T20 Torx head. Back those out. Be careful that you get the washer with it. Put those in a safe, dry place. I like to keep my tool tray right up on top of the engine like this so that I can lay stuff on it. I get all the tools out that I need before I start, and then basically it's a catch-all for parts that I take out. Alright, that should come loose now. There we go. That's why I wear gloves. Alright, so I'm going to pull that back, let it drip a little bit, and then we're going to hold this back with this bungee cord I got here. Keep that out of the way. And I get this bucket here to put my filter element in when I lift that out. Comes out very easily. And pretty much I'm going to lift it straight out and put it in the bucket. Some people let it drip dry in there. I want to try to keep any crud that's in there out because I do not empty that. And I will show you why in a minute. Here's my new filter. Go ahead and pull this out. I will show the part number in the description if you need to get that. But my canister is just under halfway full. We're going to put the new filter element in there very slowly. Let it soak in there good. Try to keep it from running over. That'll take a little bit to soak in. What I did is I took some 911 and mixed it with diesel fuel. This is winter, and I did have a little problem with my fuel gelling. So that's why I added a little 911 to it. But anyhow, I took this here container, put diesel fuel and some 911 in it. So this is what we're going to top off our element with. You do not want to pour any fuel into the center. This is clean side. Fuel gets drawn out of the center. So don't pour it into the middle like you would have on the older styles. You can go ahead and pour it around the outside. If you pour it very slowly on the outside here, it will drain into the outside until it's filled up. But make sure you don't get any fuel into the center. That is the clean side. One of the reasons I don't empty the canister, and I know a lot of people drain their canister, clean it all out. Everything that's in that canister is going to get filtered through the new filter, and it's one of the reasons I take the old filter out and dump it in a bucket right away rather than let it drip dry in where any contaminants can drop back into this. So I've got pretty much 100% clean fuel in there, but it's going to get filtered anyhow with the new filter element. So we got it setting here. Let's just take this here mixture here, and I'm going to close that center hole just to be sure. And then we're going to very carefully and slowly top this thing off. These bays here are kind of a pain to get into, but we'll just take it easy and top that off. I'm setting on a level garage here, so I'm not too worried. Once that there fills up, we'll let it soak a little longer, and then we'll put the top back on. It's actually very straightforward. It's easier changing fuel filter on this TDI than it is on my diesel pickups, and it's about only a little more complex than changing it on a regular semi-truck, which I've changed quite a few of those. Alrighty, we're pretty well filled up there. I'm going to lift this just a hair. Check that. Okay, lower it back down in there. Yeah, we can still take a little more. The closer I get this thing to full, the less cranking I'll have to do. I don't have a priming tool to prime these things, so I try to get that thing completely full and there's as little air as possible in it. Check that center. We should have fuel in that center as well. Yep, we're just about there. I'll give it just a little more. As the new element gets soaked completely. Okay, there we go. You look at the center there, we are full of fuel right to the center. We didn't dump any in the outside, so any of that fuel in the center there is filtered already. And we'll be ready to put that lid back on. Alright, so making sure this is clean, I'm going to just wipe the edge of that carefully. Although that's not in the fuel portion of it, I just don't like having anything in there. Alright, take my bungee cord off here. Take this very carefully. Make sure that center is started correctly. There we go. Now, I'll put these screws back in. We'll start one on this side here. And we're just going to start it. I'm not going to snug it down just yet. I like to get all my screws in before I get any of them too snug. And then we'll just go around the circle the same way I would on a wheel and tighten them up. If you look at this, this is 5 screws. You start in one spot. We'll get this one down just snug. I'm not going to tighten it down and skip it. Go every other screw around the circle, just like you would a tire, and after 2 circles you'll have gotten every one. I don't have the best lighting in here. I'm casting a bit of a shadow, but I think you can see what's going on here. Alright, so now I got them all down. Just hand tighten. I don't take a torque wrench. I don't have one this small. Besides, on a fuel filter like this, I just look to make sure it's not going to leak. So we're going to crank this down just reasonably snug. Once again, go around it, skip every other screw, or get every other screw, and you will get all 5. Works perfectly on a 5 screw rotation. Okay, and now once more just on every one. I don't massively torque down on these. I'll check it after I restart it and make sure there's no leaks. If I need to tighten it up a bit, I will, but that should do. There we go, got it started, and let's see how this works. Okay, so we just started the thing, and with filling that canister up, started immediately, no turnover, just like it normally would have, ran smoothly, didn't shut off at all, and we got it all primed out. Been checking it out, there's no leaks anywhere that I can see. It's a little wet from the fuel that spilled when I pulled the filter out, but other than that, we're looking very good. So that's how you change fuel filter on a 2013 Passat TDI.